episode of Star Wars Alternate History. And today's question is, what if Grand Admiral Thrawn was successful in recreating the Empire? So for those of you who don't know, in 5 ABY, Grand Admiral Thrawn, the last of 13 Grand Admirals and the only alien Grand Admiral, made a bid by taking over rule of the Imperial remnants, and made a strong bid to retake the galaxy until he was killed, murdered, assassinated would be a better word. Anyways, central question here: what if he wasn't assassinated? What if he was successful? So let's get on to it. First thing we have to do is kind of analyze what Thrawn's goal really was for taking over the Empire. Unlike Palpatine and Darth Vader, he wasn't going to rule by fear necessarily. That wasn't his goal, to be a ruler of the Empire and have everything at his disposal, have ultimate power. Thrawn didn't want that. He used the power he had to go for his goals, but once his goals was achieved, he wasn't necessarily going to put a burden on the people to achieve this. Thrawn's ultimate goal was a stable galaxy. Why was this his goal? Because if there was a stable galaxy, there'd be no war, and he'd be able to prepare the galaxy better for any incoming threats that could come to it in the future. That, if you read Outbound Flight, was there, and this threat was supposedly at least I'm guessing, is the Yuuzhan Vong. But there were also other threats out there, such as the Sea Rook, that tried invading Bakura right after Return of the Jedi. So, the simple thing is, Thrawn's going to retake the New Republic's territories, and he's going to make it stable. He's not going to be mean or down to them. He's going to be nice. Now, he's still probably going to rule a little bit harsh at times, but his rule's not going to be completely harsh. There's probably going to be free trade, but he's going to aim for stuff that he knows is illegal and maybe harming anything that's harming him. He's going to take out. He might try to take out people such as Talon Card that harmed him during the war, just because he doesn't want anyone who may be unloyal to him standing around that has power. He may go to try to take Hutt space. Who knows? But what we know is Thrawn's going to make his territory a more stable space, which was something the Emperor kind of did, but not completely, because obviously the Empire fell. Since Thrawn is an alien, he's going to likely be a more lenient leader, as the Chiss aren't as expansive as any other aliens, and they mainly live in the unknown regions where no one really knows about them. Thrawn's not going to be able to say, oh, all the Chiss are going to be up high in these ranks, like Palpatine did with humans, because there were tons of humans around the galaxy. There aren't that many Chiss. So Thrawn's going to be lenient. He's not going to be human-based. He's going to allow aliens. He's not going to necessarily say, I hate you because you're different than me. He's going to look for whoever has the best assets who benefit him, whether or not they're alien. So let's get on to some of the other future events this would affect. About 10 years, 15 ABY abouts, whenever Thrawn died, 10 years after Thrawn died, there's a reappearance. This is an actual reappearance of Grand Admiral Thrawn, however, as it's a fake. Conman Flim Moff Dizra, and a clone unknown till pretty soon before he dies, named Major Tears. They make a bid, acting like the Grand Admiral Thrawn, tricking some high Imperial officers, not Paleon himself, but they make a bid. If Grand Admiral Thrawn successfully kept the Empire together and didn't die, there'd be no need for this bit of power to come up, causing things like the Kamas document to stir up the New Republic. There would be a lot less turmoil in the galaxy. He'd likely try mediate feuds between different planets or species, and well, the Kamas document thing wouldn't have happened because Thrawn has so much power he wouldn't have been revealed likely. Plus, he did actually have a copy of the Kamas document, so if it came up, then he'd be able to say, these are the Bothans who did. The problem would be solved right away. By the way, Kamas document was something they used to stir up things because Bothans helped kind of destroy a planet. Anyways, there'd be likely no or close to no rebellion against Thrawns Rule. As I said earlier, he's going to be a much more lenient leader than Palpatine. Because what he's looking for is the strongest empire where he can take from the most resources when needed and can prepare in case there's a threat against them. And he'd be able much more out-tactic any individual than anyone that tried to rise against him, like Palpatine, who simply said, this is a threat, I'll be able to take him out real easily. Thrawn would be able to take him out real easily. No question about it. So it'd be hard to rebel against him anyways, but he's more lenient, so people are going to be less likely like, oh, my life's good, the Empire's not getting all in on me more, they're not hurting my family, that stuff. And as we see, I think it's in the 40 ABYs, 30 ABYs, the Yuuz Van Vong invade. This invasion isn't going to be successful with Grand Admiral Thrawn being around, as he's been preparing for the Yuuz Van Vong to come and has known about them since about 35 BBY. So Grand Admiral Thrawn's probably in his 90s now, but he's a chiss. For all we know, they have a much longer lifespan than humans, even though they're near human. So Grand Admiral Thrawn's going to work to get the Empire to be able to be in a state where they can prevent it. The other thing is, Grand Admiral Thrawn in the unknown regions had this thing known as the Hand of Thrawn that was ruled by Admiral Park and Baron Fell. I think that was his name. Anyways, Thrawn would likely use this once he took over the New Republic because there's really no need for him to keep it hidden, as there's no threat, and all it would do is solidify his power. So there'd be no reason for him to keep it hidden. Hand of Thrawn would be brought out in the open, though his clone would likely still stay hidden, just in case. So, tell me guys what you think of this episode. What you think would have happened if Thrawn's campaigns weren't successful. Give me ideas for future episodes. This is Indiana signing out.